Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day so far. Today I have another advice video. In today's video, I will be giving you 10 tips to increase productivity at home, whether you're doing school from home or you're working from home. I wanted to share 10 tips that have helped me stay focused and motivated and productive during the crazy times that we're living in. If you're new here, I'm Liz. I am a PhD student studying computer science, and most of my day revolves around my classes, which I do from my apartment. So I very much have had my ups and downs with being in my apartment and learning how to manage my schedule and stay on top of different things while still being positive and happy. So I wanted to share a few things that I've learned along the way so that they can help you out. So if you want to increase your productivity at home, just keep watching. Tip number 1 is to wake up at a consistent time. Now, this may mean within 30 minutes, but I wouldn't push it past an hour just because your sleep schedule will affect your mood, it will affect your health, it will affect your focus, and overall your performance, whether it's for mental tasks or physical tasks. I usually try to wake up between 8 and 9 a.m. every morning, and then obviously you can have some leeway on the weekends or on your day off if you want to sleep in more. Definitely do that, but I find my sleep schedule is super important, which is why it is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to incorporate something fun while you're getting ready. So for me, I feel the most confident when I put a little bit time into getting ready, like if I do makeup or if I have a nice outfit on. But for you, maybe you want to wear your favorite pair of socks. Maybe you want to spend a little bit more time on your hair, or maybe you just want to wear your favorite shirt or something like that. I know it sounds silly, but if you spend a little bit of time getting ready, it'll make you feel a little bit more confident and give you more motivation to be productive. Tip number 3 is to make a to-do list. Here's one of mine with lots of scribbles and things crossed out of it, but I start with top 3, which is my most important tasks or my hardest tasks, and those are just the 3 that I really want to work hard to do. And then I have other tasks which typically don't take nearly as much time to get through, and this one was just from the past, so clearly didn't get everything crossed off on that one. But it's helpful to write down your tasks for the day so that you remember that you need to do them, and so that you can feel satisfaction in crossing them off, and then you will get less and less stressed as more and more things are crossed off on your to-do list. And then at the end of the day, when you look at your to-do list, you can feel very proud that you've done the tasks that you set out to do. Now, the only thing if you don't do the to-do list is that you risk forgetting about something that you need to do. It can also trick your mind into thinking you have more time to do certain tasks, but if you write them down, you know when they're due, and you can create a plan to make sure they get done on time and that you're not stressed about them later. Tip number 4 is that choices have momentum. So if you pick one good choice, it tends to lead to more good choices. And then if you have one bad choice, it may lead to more bad choices. I know for me, if I miss a workout or I miss doing something physical, sometimes it spirals me into being more lazy and less likely to get out of bed and do work. So to counter that, try to have one standing goal and one good choice to start your day, so that once you've accomplished that, it gives you momentum to accomplish more things. Maybe it's having a healthy breakfast, maybe it's going outside for a walk, or maybe it's just doing a simple chore like taking out the trash. These kinds of things will propel you into productivity. Tip number 5 is to have a designated workspace or work position. So if some of you are living in dorms or you're living in your parents' house, you may have just your room. So you may not have a separate office or some other space besides your bedroom to work, but you can still utilize that space to work for you. So if you normally have to do homework on your bed, you can reposition yourself in a place that you normally don't sleep in, so that mentally you can be in the mode to work. Now, this may seem kind of silly, but it actually will help you, because it's so easy to fall back into just going back to sleep if you're already in the covers and you're just trying to do things on your laptop. But if you reposition where you're sitting on your bed, and also if you make sure that how you're sitting up straight, or you have some supportive cushion behind you, that can help a lot. Right now I'm in my office, which is where I like to film and be productive. I have a nice chair, desk chair, thank you Walmart for this. And this really puts me in the productive mindset. I also have a nice desk here to help me stay organized and focused. And I am just really fortunate that I can designate my workspace so that I have optimum focus, and I hope that you can do this too. I promise you that if you have a designated workspace, it will be much easier to separate your normal fun life or your normal sleep life with your work life. So I definitely want you guys to take this advice. Tip number 6 is to stand up and walk around during breaks. I know it's so easy to stay sitting or lying down, reclining if you will, because it's just so comfortable, especially if your outfit of choice is really comfortable. There's just no reason to need to get up and everything like that. But it's super important to stand up, take a break, do something crazy, do your favorite dance move, whatever it is, to get some blood flowing. You can even choose to do one chore during this break. You can do laundry or do the dishes, do something to get your mind both mentally a break from whatever it is, the hard work or the schoolwork that you're doing, but then also physically your body is doing something. So that will make you feel a lot better. Tip number 6 is to separate your tasks into categories. So on a sheet of paper, which I turned like this, I have different columns and each column has a title. For me, I have my classes. So I have my entrepreneurship class, then my cybersecurity class, then my bioinformatics class, and then I have a separate category for my research, which is how I work and how I have my scholarship. And then my 2 other categories are YouTube and self and home. Now, maybe you can do a similar structure. Maybe you want to make fitness a category. Maybe you want to make a new hobby a category, or a small business a category. Maybe you want to make reading more a category. It's always helpful for me to do this so that if I've spent way too much time on one category, I can see, oh, well, I can't forget about these other things which have pressing deadlines. Like for example, in my self and home category, I have to make sure I pay my rent on time. So this is helpful as like an overview of what I need to get done in different areas of my life. Tip number 7 is to write down deadlines. So if many of you are in school or you are working, chances are people that are a little bit above you are telling you when you need to turn things in and when things are due. So in order to keep track of that and remember all of that, you need to be able to see it somewhere. So for me, I write them down. I usually use just pencil and paper, but if you utilize your phone to keep track of dates, you can do that too. There's tons of productivity apps out there like Asana, and if that works for you, that's amazing. I always start by writing out the deadline, and then from there, without stressing just about the deadline, you can begin to break down the task into little steps so that it doesn't seem as overwhelming. So if I have an assignment like a 15-minute presentation on 3 different research papers, the first step is to find 3 research papers. So I have to search, I have to read, and then I have to take detailed notes on those papers. And then from there, maybe I can write a script, and then from there, I'd be able to make slides based on that script, and then I would practice my presentation. So instead of just writing when the due date is for that presentation, I can actually break it down, and then as I go through it, I can cross off each step so that I'm closer to the ultimate goal. So with that, I definitely recommend writing down deadlines and breaking down big assignments into smaller steps. Tip number 8 is to create rewards for yourself. This is so important, especially during these times when we are often alone, isolated, and we don't get much human interaction. You can create a reward with yourself to say you're gonna FaceTime a family member, you're gonna FaceTime a friend at a certain time of the day or the night, and then from that goal you can say, oh, I have to FaceTime my friend then, so I'm gonna try to get a lot of work done before I do that so that I can, relax and truly enjoy that. Or maybe your reward is watching your favorite YouTuber. Maybe your reward for yourself is when you take a break, you can watch your favorite Netflix show or something like that. But I think having something to look forward to can really motivate you to finish your tasks and finish them quickly so that you can spend more time doing something fun. Tip number 9 is to have a nighttime routine. So just like I said, to have a certain time that you like to wake up in the morning, it helps when you want to prepare to sleep to have a nighttime routine. So maybe that's saying like you're gonna have a certain amount of time on your phone and then you're not gonna be on your phone. Maybe you wanna make your favorite cup of tea 30 minutes before you go to bed. Maybe you have a skincare regime. Maybe you have your own little, do the toothbrush, the floss, and then your retainer. Just something to get you ready for bed, prepared for bed. I mean, at the very least, you should be changing into pajamas. Obviously, if you're like me and you like to wear comfy clothes all day, it may be tempting to stay in those clothes when you sleep, but you should be trying to separate some sort of work life from your sleep life. So I would definitely recommend having a nighttime routine so it will help you de-stress and have a better quality of sleep overall. And the last tip that I have for you guys, tip number 10, is that if the day does not go the way you planned, do not be too hard on yourself. Remember, you have the next day. And if you're really stressed out about how bad the day was, you can always start ahead by making a to-do list for the next day. I think a lot of times it's easy to get into a rut and not be able to feel like the days mean that much, especially when we're all just kind of staying indoors, staying either isolated or with the same people all the time. It's hard to remind ourselves that we can change things a little bit. We can make things a little bit different each day, whether it's to try to cook a new meal, or maybe it's trying something new that you've never tried before, a new hobby or something artistic. It's really important that if you want something to go better the next day, you have to make a conscious effort for that to happen. So I know for me, if I'm ever stressed out, I will write a new to-do list for the next day, and not only will I think about the steps on how I will be able to achieve those tasks, but I also think about the obstacles that are preventing me from achieving those tasks. Like for a lot of people right now, if you're so stressed about money that you can't think about school, you should probably think about, okay, well, how can I be less stressed out about money? What's something I can do? Can I meet with a financial counselor? Can I look for scholarships? Can I look for jobs? Because it's not just about wanting to do something and just saying I'm going to do it. You have to make steps so that you can do it. And if there's other things that are taking up your time so that those things that you want to be priorities are not yet priorities, you need to address those things so that you can make other things priorities. And I know for me, one of my goals is to have fitness more of a priority because it really hasn't been. I've just been trying to do school and stay happy, and that's already takes all my time and energy. But if I can get those other things in a good, strong place, then I can make fitness more of a priority. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to my tips for productivity, whether you're working from home or you're doing school from home. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead of you. If you want, you can check out my other advice videos. I have a whole college advice playlist, and I also have some advice videos catered specifically towards computer science students. My most recent one was tips for freshmen in computer science, and that was a collab video, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, let me know if these tips are something that you guys have tried, or maybe you do stuff that I missed. I would love to hear it in the comments below, and with that, I will see you guys very soon. And for those of you that realized I repeated tip number 5 in this video, you're really observant and I like you.